Good morning, gifted crafters. It's crafting time.
Worries on my mind, it's been a tough week. My life feels a void. There's something that I need. My supplies on the table, I grab a comfy seat. I need to craft to put my mind at ease. Crafting changed my life, it mends my soul. In my happy space, I'm in full control. It's crafting time, craft my troubles away. Give me a world of color to brighten up my day. Crafting videos on, searching what I can do. Sipping on my drink, feeling inspired and new. Crafting's good for the soul, it's so true. Bringing beauty into the world through. As I craft, my spirit starts to climb. It's not
Live from the Sunshine State in Miami, Florida, here is the Gifted Crafters Morning Show with Nancy.
Good time. Ooh, time to get our craft on. Ooh, time to have fun. Ooh, time to feel good.
Good morning, Gifted Crafters, and welcome back to the Gifted Crafters Morning Show. Good morning out there. Happy Friday. Yay. Yes, it's TGIF. Definitely a great day today. I am really happy that Friday's here and the weekend is right upon us. So lots and lots of things to do. And if you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Nancy with Gifts HQ, and this is a channel where we just talk about everything crafting, from sewing, quilting, crochet, and so much more. Alrighty, since we are live, let's see who we have out there joining us today. I see Faker McFake, good morning to you. I see Debbie Maddock, good morning to you as well. Joyce Adams, she's saying good morning to all her crafty friends. Maureen, good morning. And let's see, we've got Robin's Quilt Basket, good morning to you. Sue Galvin, Ice Queen, good morning. Melissa Hutchins from East Texas, good morning to you. Lisa Lilly, yes, happy Friday, yay! Awesome. We've got Cindy Ball from Michigan. Oh, she says it's kind of cold. Okay. Let's see here. We've got Jenny Owens. Good morning to you. Yes, our friends from Canada. Yay. Good morning. And thank you for joining. Yay. We've got crafting. Let's see. Crafting on a go. Good morning to you. Let's see. Marge. Good morning from Wisconsin. Let's see, Lori Berry, good morning. Oh my gosh, Western New York, and it's chilly. Oh boy. A few more hours and I'll have made another trip around the sun. In a couple more days, I'll be in sunny West Palm. Oh, awesome. Well, safe travels to you. Alrighty. JBL, good morning. We've got Leslie B. Draw's mom. Good morning to you. Barbara, good morning from Ohio. Let's see. River Rose, good morning from Tennessee. Thanks for joining. Let's see here. We're all VFFs instead of BFFs. Well, I guess that's good too. Hi, Cindy. That's awesome. We've got a lot of VFFs, right? Sometimes we like them better than our BFFs. I don't know. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get started. If I didn't catch your name, sorry, I'll try to keep going as I kind of glance through the chat. Good morning, Deborah Bile. Alrighty, so like I said, this is a channel we like to do all kinds of crafting stuff. So first thing we like to do is give a little toast in the morning. So go ahead and grab yourself a cup of whatever it is you have in the morning, coffee, tea, soda, water. It really doesn't matter. Just whatever makes you happy. There's never any judgment here. So go ahead and raise those glasses, and if you don't have a cup, don't worry, I will pour you a cup, and maybe it'll be something nice and cozy and warm, or maybe you want a little shot of some ice water or something really cold in the morning. I don't know. I've got some ice water here. I'm from Miami, Florida, and yeah, it's a little cool out, but you know, our cold snap is over. It was 2 days, and it was fun for the 2 days, but you know, mostly worked, so didn't get to see it too much, but that's okay. We like our nice ice cold water here in the morning. So go ahead and raise those glasses, and cheers to everyone. I hope you have a fantastic weekend, as it's Friday, so have a great day and enjoy that weekend. Get some sewing done in that craft room. Go ahead and grab yourself a little swivel here. Okay. Hey, Nancy from Boston. Good morning, and Flo. Oh boy. Cabraka says coffee, coffee, coffee. Yay. And Melinda, happy Friday to you as well. Okay, so we've got our toast. Why don't we just go grab our snacks, shall we? Because we got to have something to eat in the morning, right? Breakfast is the most important part of the day. All right, let's go roll out the food truck because it's Friday, and why not? I think we gave it a little bit of a wash this weekend. So, all righty, we rolled her up there. She's all tuned up and ready to go in a nice car wash. And we've got everything on the food truck that you can imagine. Anything that you would like, no calories, absolutely free. You can have anything you want. You could even get it delivered. So go ahead and grab your stuff. Coffee, tea, muffins, cookies. We even have pancakes back there. And of course, carrots and kale for the healthy stuff. And yeah, I think if you want a turkey sandwich, we may have a turkey sandwich in there. If maybe you're in the mood for one, you know. Oh, who let out the turkeys? Somebody let out the turkeys. Oh, come on, guys. Bye-bye. There you go. Yeah. They're just excited. You know, Thanksgiving's only about 2 weeks away, you know? So, yeah, eat chicken instead is what they're saying. Oh, yum, cinnamon bun. Yes, definitely an egg croissant for Faker McFake. She's wants some eggs this morning. Well, yeah, some people just go straight for lunch. I'll go with a turkey sandwich. Yeah, we're changing it up a bit. Sure, why not? I mean, Thanksgiving's around the corner, guys, and if you haven't started those projects yet, you only got 2 weeks left. So get those things ready. If you're making, maybe embroidering some placemats or some table runner, or if you're doing some type of little utensil holder type of thing, you got to get that stuff done and out of the way because time is ticking. Alrighty, yay, yeah, this is too cute. I'm glad you like that. Alrighty, oh, strawberry angel food cake for your birthday tomorrow, Lori. Well, happy birthday to Lori. It's tomorrow, but we'll do a pre-celebration for you. Happy birthday to Lori. I hope you have a fantastic day and enjoy your weekend and make it a birthday weekend, you know. I know I like to. When it's your birthday weekend, right? They got to be nice to you the whole weekend. All right, so let's give some cake and roll out that food truck again, right? Can we roll that food truck again and give her some cake? Because it's her birthday. We like to celebrate everybody's birthday here. There we go. See, even the turkeys are going to come out and sing for you. Yay! Awesome. All right, there's your birthday cake, and hope you have a fantastic birthday and a fantastic weekend celebrating with family and friends. All righty, guys, let's get going. Enough with all the shenanigans, right? We got to get to it. Okay. So, guys, if you've been tuning in or if you haven't been tuning in this week, we've been working on the Posh Santa. This is a pattern that is by So Kind of Wonderful. I'll put it over on the desk cam so you can see. Apologies for the little plastic shine. I think that makes it a little bit better. And so this little wall hanging, I think, is just really, really beautiful. Yeah, let me take the plastic off here. It's driving me a little nutty. There we go. Okay, that's much better, I think. Yeah, there we are. So there is the wall hanging, and it is a pattern that is done with the QCR mini curved ruler, which is by So Kind of Wonderful. Okay, very, very nice little ruler to get really beautiful curves, and we've been working with that. We did it on another project with a book that was kind of our beginner friendly type of a project, and it was a what was called a giving tree, and it had all of the curves on the tree. And now we're doing it on the Santa. So really, really nice. This one's a little bit more not so much complicated. It's just it has more steps, and there's different things to it that you do on the ruler. So it's kind of like the next step to start learning more about the ruler. So I think it's a lot of fun. All right, so yesterday we were cutting away, and we did a lot of curves, and today we're going to be squaring off. Let me bring my little design board here. I have kind of a little mess going on over here, but these are kind of in a somewhat logical type of order for myself. So here we have our design board, and they've all been cut up and squared off, and you can see how beautiful the curves all look. They've all been cut down to a 4" by 4" size, and I've got a couple here that I've left out so that I can square them off with you. And this is what's left for that. And then there's a couple of other cuts that we have to do to square off. And these are kind of those awkward type of books that, awkward types of little block shapes that you'll have to square off, and they're squared off a little bit differently. So I held off to show those to you as well. And so here is the little pattern here, and you can see there's all kinds of illustrations and ways that they tell you on how to cut. So we're gonna kind of take that step by step, and I'm going to show you how I squared some of these off, and then we're just going to lay it out because we're just about there in terms of finishing up. I did skip ahead and did another step just to save ourselves some time. That is making the eye, the nose, and the tassel section, and it was basic sewing, guys. This was just taking the two, I think it was 1.5 inch squares on here, and then just attaching it to this one, which was a 1.5 by 2, and then I believe this was a 3 by 4. And so we just kind of sewed all of this together, and it's not you know, anything major. It's just like one of the pieces. If you look at the pattern, you can see here, I think it goes this way. So you'll see like the little eye portion over here. And so that's what this is going to represent. Okay. So that's what I just put together last night. You still have two other little tiny dark pieces that you're going to be using. And these are going to be for the little nose down here. And you can see that it's triangle, so we're going to be doing some sewing with that as well. This piece right here, putting together the mustache with the nose and the mouth, is probably another piece we've all have to put together. But it's coming along really well, and it's, you know, it's pretty quick, and it's a lot of repetitiveness on the project, because once you know how to cut the curve and square them up, it's just repeating this for all of the other blocks that you have on your board here. And so it's a lot of repetitiveness, and that allows you to really get a little bit accurate on there. Okay. Oh, Cindy's asking, Miss Molly and Nancy did some stitching since yesterday morning. Looks good. Yes, we did. We did. We were up a little bit late last night. Not too late, but we were up a little late, kind of getting some stuff done because I had a long day at work. Yeah. Had a long day, had a lot of stuff going on there, but you know, I like to end my day sewing. It just calms me down, makes me feel good, and then I can go off to, you know, night night. Alrighty, so Miss Molly and I were also playing some tunes last night, so we had some good times here, and had some stuff going on. I only had to use the seam ripper once, and it was because I sewed the curve the wrong way. I don't know what I was doing, and I got distracted and I turned it the wrong way and sewed it the wrong way, and then I had to just undo it. But it only happened one time, and then that was it, and we were good. So, all right, for this step in terms of squaring off, it is easier if you get a rotating mat. Now, if you don't have a rotating mat, oh, good morning, Jackie. If you don't have a rotating mat, another thing that you can do is to grab a smaller mat, and let me see if I have one real quick. Let me try to grab one from the back here. I believe I have one. Yeah, so this is one of those Dollar Tree cutting mats that you can get. And if you don't have a rotating mat, because they are quite pricey, right? So if you don't have one, you can always take another mat, a smaller mat, from the Dollar Tree, wherever, and you can put a mat on top of the mat. It'll allow you to move things around. Now this one's a smaller mat, but it actually works pretty well because these pieces are just 4x4, so you know, you don't need that much space. So you can easily just kind of cut this here, you put it on a mat, and then you can just rotate the smaller mat, and you don't have to move your project around or move the ruler around, right? So if you don't have a rotating mat, that's another option that you have, you know, so, you know, because these things can get expensive. Sewing can get expensive because we like to, you know, get all of our gadgets. Yes, alrighty. So, yeah. Let's see. Nancy's so happy you are having fun with Miss Molly, aka Mama Haha. Yes, I am. I love my Miss Molly. She is just, you know, my little side partner over here. She's just wonderful. And thank you. I really adore her, and I have tons of fun with her. She's my sewing buddy. Yes, she is. But thank you, guys. I am so appreciative for this. I mean, oh my gosh. Don't get me started. I'm not going to do no tears on this channel. But yeah, I think she's been getting her workout. I can tell you that. We've definitely been working a lot together. Alrighty, so I have this here. I'm hoping this doesn't fall off. So this is about as close as I can get the cutting board to you guys. I hope that's good enough. So these are the pieces that we have left to cut out of the AB side. So remember, this board here is filled up with AB, what they call AB fabrics. So if you have following the pattern along, it does tell you to lay them out. And these are the AB sides, and every pile represents a specific part of the pattern. So it's a great idea to kind of follow that, because it's going to make it a lot easier when you're laying them out, to be able to grab, and you don't have to try to figure out what's what, right? Just lay it out exactly how the pattern has it, and then just go ahead and finish doing the cuts. So I just did the cuts and I put it right back into the pile where it belonged in. And I've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 more cuts to go from the AB portion, and then we're gonna go here. I did cut these 2 already. These were my first 2, and this is kind of like what I want to say of like kind of like the awkward type cuts, but I'm going to show you how these get cut out, and then everything else is cut out already. So let's get to this. So okay, let me grab one piece here. And this one was one of the ones that was a little bit wonky. I kind of stretched it a tad here. But you know what? I wanted to kind of keep that because I wanted to show you guys, even if it looks a little bit wonky, if you did stretch it out just a little bit, it's okay, because when you square it out, you're not even going to know it was wonky. Okay, so here's a little bit, has a little bit of, you can see here, a little bit of a stretch. I probably stretched it a little bit too much here on the end. Not sure why, but I did, but that's okay. And I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you guys see that? If you can't see that, let me, what I'm gonna do, because it's on the blue side, and you can see a little bit of that stretch. Let's go over to the desk cam so you can see this, because I think it's really important. I know someone brought up yesterday that there's stretched a little bit, and let me hold it on the white side. So maybe here you can see a little bit how this kind of extends out just a little bit. I mean, it's not a huge stretch, but if I were to put a line here, see how that stretched out there? You've got all this excess blue going on this side. That's got a little bit stretched out, and that's okay, because even with this stretch, you can see how beyond this is from the stick. You're gonna see how this is still gonna square up, and it's still gonna look beautiful. So let's get to that. Okay, all right, so I've got my block right here, and I like to kind of have the instructions in front of me to make sure I am going the right way. I don't want to give you guys wrong information. So here I've got my block laid out on my rotating mat, and I'm going to go ahead and lay my ruler down. And remember that this ruler has one side that is 1/8 of an inch off, and then this side here does not have 1/8 of an inch extra piece or layer. I don't know how you want to say it, but just let me just show it to you guys just in case. Okay, so here on the edge of the ruler, we've got an extra 1/8 of an inch on both this side and on this side of the ruler, but on the other side of the ruler, if I turn it around, it does not have that 1/8 of an inch. Okay, you want to make sure that you're working on the side that has the 1/8 of an inch extra, okay, because you're going to be lining up your curves up to that 1/8 of an inch line. So I'm going to go ahead and look for my 4-inch mark. So that's my 4-inch, and I want to try to grab my top curve to be right on that, not on the 1/8 of an inch line, but you want to be on the inch. So you're leaving that 1/8 of an inch to hang out to the outside of it, and then the same on the other side. So you're lining up your curve right on the inch, leaving 1/8 of an inch on the outside. So you want to make sure that you line it up correctly, and you're just barely kind of touching that line, and just move it around as many times as you need to line it up and make sure that your curves are hitting that line. Okay, when you do that, you can see here's my 4-inch line. You can see it's kind of all this is going to be trimmed off when I rotate it. So it is going to square off very nicely. Good morning, Francis. How are you? Thanks for joining. So on here, the whole reason why, even if you stretch it and it gets a little bit wonky, the reason why it still comes out okay is because you are lining up your curves from edge to edge here on that 4-inch line. Your curve is just touching that 1/8 of an inch line there. Okay, and so because you're touching it on both sides on the 4-inch line, you're just touching it, it squares it off for you. And so then you can kind of get rid of all this excess pieces here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my rotary cutter. And again, this is where the rotating mat works really well, because I can kind of move it towards me, hold down the ruler, and then make the cut. I pull off the excess to the side, and then I will rotate again, hold down the ruler, and make that cut as well. Now what you'll need to do is lift up your ruler and rotate your piece all the way around, okay? And then put your ruler right back down, same side, line it up with your 4-inch line. So now I'm going to be looking at the side that I already cut, and I'm going to be lining it up on the 4-inch line. So I look at my 4-inch line and grab this corner and then grab this corner. So I'm lining this up here. And then I'm going to be cutting all of this excess here and here. Okay? So hold this down, and then I'm going to make that cut. Yep. Little thread there. Hold this down and make another cut. So got all this excess here. That's your waist. And then this is your block. And let's bring that to the dust cam. So there you have it. Okay, nice, clean. You never would have known that it was wonky, right? And so you've got your curves here with that 1/8 of an inch there, little tiny place on both sides. Okay, very, very nice. All right, so now I'm just going to put that back on my pile. Actually, I wanted to give it a quick press one more time. Oh, thought my iron was getting hot, and it's not. I'll leave it. I'll let it get hot, and let's just, I'm going to grab another one, and I'm just going to do a couple more, and we should be able to do these pretty quickly. So I think now you guys have gotten the concept on how to cut these. But if you run into any issues or have any questions, just let me know, and I'll try to help you out. But once you get the hang of how to use this ruler, it really is pretty easy to do. It's just really, you have to really pay attention to the instructions. And for every pattern, it may change, right? So you have to really pay attention to it. But once I have this down pat, then I can really easy, you know, it's really easy for me to just go ahead and finish it up and cut out all the pieces. And you'll be done in no time because, whoops, once you start this and you get into your rhythm, it just goes so fast, and the project will be done in no time. And here's yet another little block here. I'm going to move this forward just a little bit. I think it's a little hot now. Let's see. Oh yeah, we're good. I like to kind of just, at this point now, I can give it a nice little iron there. And just lay it nice and flat. Okay. And of course, the seam on the back really lays nice and flat, so that's really fantastic. So guys, if you are working on this project, let me know and show us your progress on Facebook. I know you guys are just working on all kinds of projects out there, and this is the time because there's just so many things going on with Christmas out there around the corner, Thanksgiving, all of the holidays are like upon us, and people are really trying to get their projects done any way they can in between work, right? For those of you who are retired and you get to do this all day long, of course, I'll be jealous, but I'll get there one day, I guess, right? But this is really something that I just really enjoy to do. Okay. Oh, I've been working on closing out 2025 started projects so I can prepare for 2026. There are many great projects coming out next. Yes, they are. There's tons of really cool projects coming out next year. I agree. Yeah, definitely. But if you are going ahead with that, then you're ahead of the game, gosh. Wow. I'm not quite there yet. I've got too many other things, and I kind of lost my train here. Hold on a second. There we go. I lost my train of thought there. But yeah, if you're already doing 2026, then you are way ahead of the game. I am not that lucky. Unfortunately, my work has really gone kind of up. We've got like a lot to do. So I haven't had way too much time. And with Mr. H being out, really didn't help the situation. But we're getting there. We'll pull through, right? All right, another block. There we go. And I think I've got one more to do and we'll be done with these A-B sections. And then I want to show you how to cut these because these are a little bit different of a cut. And you'll have a couple things you'll need to pay attention to. Let's see here. Okay. Last one of the A-B section. And it's always good to kind of make sure that your blade is nice and sharp when you get to this part, because you're going to be doing a lot of cutting. And we're turning this around and lining this up on the 4-inch mark. Okay. Perfect. There we go. All right, so here's our, get rid of our excess there. Another great block. Let me give it a quick little press here. Okay, so we are all done here on our board. And so I've got my piles all put together. These are all cut. Looks beautiful, right? Got tons of curves here going on. And now we're ready for the other pieces. Now, I've left these over to the side because they are other than, these are only the A-B pieces, and then there's everything else, right? So there's a few things here. So like I said, I've already done the first two here, right? And that, if you line them up, you see how they kind of perfectly go together here. If you look at the pattern itself, you know, you can see like on the mustache what that looks like, right? So you're going to do something similar to that. This is not part of, well, some of this is part of it. This is not, but you'll see how this gets put together pretty quickly. Okay, so let's grab this one here. Now, there's two different pieces, okay? If you recall, when you were cutting these pieces, there was a bottom part that was a lot larger than the top. I think it was something like 2.5 inches, and then the top was a 1/4 inch on one and a 1/2 inch on the other. And so just make sure that you identify which one is which, right? If you didn't label them, or if you kind of had them separated, just check on the top where you have that 1/4 inch mark versus where you have about a 1/2 inch on here. So just make sure that you identify both of those. And when you start looking at your instructions for that, you're going to be looking at picking the one that has, let's see, we're going to do, oh, let's see, hold on. Are we looking at the right one? Okay, yeah. We're going to be taking the, let's see, it says you're going to square it up into 2 1/4 by 4 inches. And you're going to go ahead and I'm going to pick this one first, which is the 1/4 inch one. And I am going to position my fabric on the curved seam at the 2 inch mark. Okay, and you're going to trim, and then you're going to rotate it 180 degrees, and then you're going to trim it again. But when you trim it again, you're trimming it at the 4 inch and a 2 1/4. Right, so it's 2 1/4 mark. Okay, so let's see if I remember how I did this here. All right, first you want the position of the actual piece. Actually, you know what? I'm going to start with, which one did I start with? No, I think this is right. I started with this one. Okay, and we're going to take our ruler and we're going to turn it so that the writing on the ruler is on my left hand side, right? So it's on my left here, where the curve is over here. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to look for the 2-inch line, and we're going to line up the 2-inch line with the bottom of the curve. So you see where the curve here is ending right here? That is where you're lining up your ruler at the 2-inch mark. So we'll go ahead and we'll line that up there. Okay. And then you want to line up the corner of this ruler onto the curve of your fabric. So right where the curve begins. So now we're going to just kind of tilt it over, and we're going to make sure that our curve is hitting it on a diagonal right on that curve. And that's a little hard for you guys to see. So let me try to do something here. Let me try to move this up. I'm going to bring the entire rotary mat over so you guys can see this a little better. Okay, let's do the desk cam. Desk cam. There we go. Okay. All right. So we've got our fabric laid out. Okay. Make sure the orientation of the fabric is going the right direction, because it's two different pieces that you're going to be working with. Here's your curve. You've got the bottom of your curve here, and we've got the top of the curve over here. Okay. On the bottom of the curve, I'm going to take that and I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to line it up on the 2-inch mark. Okay. Then I'm going to rotate my ruler and make sure that the make sure that the top of my curve is on the corner of the ruler, and right on the tip of that corner is where I want my curve to be. So if I move this way, and whoops, it's kind of hard to do with one hand here. And I'm looking at the camera to see if I'm oriented right. Okay, that looks correct. So here's my 2-inch mark. It's hitting the bottom of my curve. Here is the tip of my ruler, and I want the curve to kind of hit the corner, just that tip of that ruler right there. That is what you're going to cut. Everything here is all excess, and then you're going to be turning it around and we're going to be squaring that off. But everything under the ruler is what you want to keep, right? And that's what's going to keep us nice and squared. It doesn't look squared on this side because we still have to rotate it and cut the other side. But if you get the idea, let me grab the other one. Let's see if you can see that. This is what your finished size is going to look like. Okay. See that? It can get a little confusing when you're reading it from the pattern, but you can see here you're right on that corner and you're right on that 2-inch mark. Okay, that's what you want to do. So let's come back over here. Okay, and let's try to go ahead and line that up again here. So on my 2-inch mark, and then I'm going to scoot the ruler over so that I can get right to the square. And I have my little diagonal hitting that mark and hitting the 2-inch mark. So now I'm ready to do my cut. So go ahead, just kind of turn this over, hold this down, and then do the cut. Actually, you need to adjust. I think I moved a little bit. Oh, why did you move? Scoot over, scooch, scooch. Okay. And my 2-inch mark needs to scoot over a little bit. And you got to play with it. You'll get it eventually. Okay. That works. And I'll go ahead and make that cut. Got a little thread here. And then I'm going to rotate it very carefully and make the second cut. Okay. Little cleanup there. Now I'm going to pick up my ruler and I'm going to rotate this around. And according to the instructions, once you do that, you're going to lift it and you're going to rotate it 180 degrees, and then you're going to reposition it into your where you had already made your cuts, and you're going to go ahead and align it with the 4-inch and the 2 1/4 inch mark. So that's where the difference is. So now I am not lining up on my 2-inch line. I'm actually lining up on my 2 1/4 inch line. That's going to give it an extra 1/8 of an inch on this side. We already have an extra 1/8 of an inch on the other side of the ruler, so you're adding another 1/4 inch. So instead of 2 inches, you're going to have 2 1/4 inch on here. And so that's what you're lining up here. So go ahead and line it up to 2 1/4 inches by 4 inches. And you can use the little notches that are on the ruler to help you position, and then go ahead and hold it down and make the cut. I keep missing this one. May have to change my blade again. Did a lot of cutting. So it may be that time. Okay. There we have it. And then you end up with your nice piece here. There you go. Nice and squared off, and you have all this excess here that we're going to be taking off. Okay. So there's our excess, and you're ending up with your really nice finished piece. Okay, so it is a little bit tricky when you're doing that. That's why you really need to pay attention to what they're telling you here. Pay attention to the orientation. Pay attention to where they're telling you to trim from, because you're going to be off. If you just think it's being done like all the others and you line up on that 2-inch line, you're going to short yourself about 1/4 inch. So you want to be careful with that. So, let's go ahead and let's do the other side, because remember, these are mirror images of each other, right? So when you end up with this, you're going to have 2 mirror images for each other. So you want to make sure that you're doing it the correct way. So you've already did the first one. Now the second one was cut a little bit different, because we were cutting on the 1/2 inch mark, not on the 1/4 inch mark. So this one will have a little bit more wiggle room here on the top. So you need to make sure you are picking up the right one. And if you just have the instructions side by side, just make sure that you are orienting this the correct way. Whoops, right here. And so you want to make sure you're following that same thing. Okay. So here we are again. We've got our ruler oriented again, and we're going to line up once again on the 2-inch. Let's see, I'm sorry, on the 4-inch, not the 2-inch. And then on our corner. So line up the corner here, make sure your tip is hitting that corner. And then you're gonna line this up here. And actually is the 2-inch, sorry. Here we go, and lining up our corner here. So my corner is hitting that point right on the ruler, and then my 2-inch mark is right on it. Could go a little bit further. Had a little bit of a wonkiness on that part, but that's okay. Okay. I think we are ready to cut right there. So let's kind of turn this a little bit. And I want to make sure I am cutting right on that tip. And then I'm going to turn this over here, cut again. Then I'm going to lift up my ruler and rotate this all the way around, putting my ruler back down. And then we're going to come back here and we're going to orient this the other way. And that's the 4" and 2 1/4 marks. Excuse me. Sorry, it's like a sneeze and a cough at the same time coming over on me. Okay. Nice. 2 1/4 by 4. Make sure you're right on that 1/4" line. And then go ahead and just do the excess. Okay, and you'll end up with a nice clean cut there. All right, so put these side by side and you can see that makes a beautiful curve right there, right? So you see how you can do all kinds of different curves, very different from our AB piece, right? So think about how many different projects you can make with this, right? So many different ones. I kind of, when I look at it this way, of course, facing me, let me turn it around facing you. If I look at it this way, and I move this down, and I line this up, I can only imagine this to me looks like a little flower pot, and then you can like embroider a little flower hanging out here. Wouldn't that be such a cute block, right? You could have a little flower, little daisy or something coming out, make it a little flower pot, or just, you know, change this around. You can do like a little spiral almost right here, right? Kind of makes it look a little different. So many things that you can do this, you know, as you are working through the project, kind of play around with the pieces and position them differently and see, you know, what kind of different things you can make with this, right? There's so many different things that you can play around with, you know, making that bigger curve, right? Maybe you have like a circle edge or something, some kind of a scallopy type edge that you want to do on your project. I don't know. There's so many different things that you can make on the edge of a quilt, right? Maybe you can do something like that. There's all kinds of different things that you can play with. So I like to kind of play around with them, move them around into different positions, you know, and see what you can come up with that's a little bit different from the pattern itself, because you want to come back. You don't want to just use this ruler to just make this one pattern. You want to be able to do multiple things with this ruler. So there's your opportunity to see all the different things that you can make with the ruler, and then you can come back and do that later for a different project that, you know, may not have a pattern that's specific for this ruler. So always kind of go around and, you know, do different things. Yeah. Yes, exactly. You know what else is cool? Nancy cuts sitting down. Yes, I do. Yeah, it's just because our camera is stationary, it's hard for me to kind of move around a little bit. I'm hoping that's going to change when we get to the new craft room, and I'm hoping to be able to move around a little bit more. But our cameras are kind of stationary, so it's kind of hard to, you know, not, you know, to get up and move around, because then the camera gets cut off or it'll get all wonky, and I don't want you guys to have that kind of experience. So, oh, you do the same with your luminaire. Yes, it's fun, 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 and more fun. Awesome. Okay, great. I'm glad you guys are doing stuff on the side there. Awesome. Okay, so we've got these pieces, and I've showed you how those can be. You really need to pay attention to the position of your fabric, the alignment on your rulers, and the cuts that you need to align to, because they can be pretty tricky. I do have another one left to do, and then I'll be marking this piece off. So let me just go ahead and finish that one off, right? We've got some time here. So I'm going to go ahead and line this up. Let's see. I want to grab, I believe it's this one. Yep. I want to grab this one here, and I want to line it up this way. Yeah, because this is the one with the 1/4" mark on it. And once again, Make sure my ruler's lined the same way as the pattern indicates. I want to look at the 2-inch line, lining up the bottom of my curve to the 2-inch line, and then I'm going to scoot it over and make sure that my curve is hitting that corner tip. Now, this one is white on white fabric, so it makes it a little bit difficult for me to see here. So it's probably even harder for you guys to see it, but I'm right on that 2-inch line, and my point is just about hitting, just double check here. Yep, it's hitting that corner. So just making sure everything's lined up correctly. And I think that looks good. So let's go ahead and make those cuts. Again, once you get yourself into the rhythm and you understand exactly what they're saying in this pattern, you're going to be good. It just, it takes a couple, get used to it, but then you're totally fine after that. And then, of course, once you orientate, then you'll be good. Lisa says, thank you, Nancy, for showing us the great detail on how to use this ruler. You're awesome. No worries, no worries. And I am happy to do so. Let's see here. So I went ahead and oriented it, and let me just double check here. Square it up. Yeah, 2 1/4 inch. Don't forget 2 1/4 inch, because you can easily forget that. So once you've got that going, 2 1/4 inch, there you go. Did I move? I felt like I moved it, but I did not. Okay. All right, and one more cut. There we go. And there we are. Yet another one done. We've got one last one to do, and this is the one with the 1/2 inch. So this one gets positioned a little bit differently, and then we'll go ahead and position our ruler the right way with the curve going the right way. And then you've got your 2 inch, and you're lining it up on the curve on that point. So let me get this closer to me, lined up on the point, and making sure that my end is on the 2 inch mark. Okay. It's another cut. Okay, oop, little thread. There we go. 180 degrees, turn that around, and then go ahead and line it up on the 4 inch and 2 1/4 inch line. 2 1/4, 2 1/4, and a 4 inch. There we go. Need to move that just slightly. There we go. Okay. It gets a little tricky because this is white on white, so it's a little harder to see. Okay, we're all done with our cuts. Yay. Cool, huh? Very, very nice. You have a small blacklist flashlight to shine on the white to tell which is the right side. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Yeah, because yeah, I did have a hard time, and I had to really kind of line it up right, because the white on white is really difficult to kind of figure out when you have that pattern on there, to figure out which one is the right side. But I was able to do it, but that's a great idea. Just use a little light on there. Maybe a little light box if you have one, just lay it to the side. That's a great idea, or just a little flashlight. That works. I like that. Thank you. Okay, so let's kind of check this off. We did all of our squaring up of our AB squares. We did these awkward cuts, actually these awkward cuts over here. These I kind of did off camera. Kind of the same thing on this one, except for these, instead of the 2 1/4, this was using the regular 2-inch mark. So those were pretty easy to do. And then on these parts where we had the 2 1/4, so these were a little bit different. So we are all done on this. I've already made the eyes, nose, and the tassel section, so these are good. And so we're left with the very small pieces here of just putting together the little mustache and the little nose blocks. And then that's all we're gonna have. And then we can just lay this out. There'll be another small piece that we have to do here. I'll let you guys read through those. Those are just some basic sewings, half square triangles. So just follow the instructions. We've done those before, so it's not that bad, right? We're just zipping right through this pattern, and then we can just start placing the quilt. And I thought that would be really fun to do. So we only have a few minutes, and I don't know if I'll have enough time to lay it all out, but we can start laying up as much as we can, and I'll come back to cutting these pieces after. My goal is to finish this up this weekend. I want to finish piecing this together, have it all done, so on Monday I'll show you what the results are, because I'd like us to start something new on Monday. Couple things like nice embroidery projects and a couple other a decoupage project that I wanted to kind of get done too. Just some things that I've been wanting to do on my list. So we're just going to grab it from that list, and we'll shake things up and do things a little bit different. Maybe do a little decoupage. I think that will be a lot of fun. Kind of show you guys a little bit of that and what that craft is all about, because we've got tons and tons of stuff that we want to show you. And we don't want to stick to just one craft. We want to kind of, you know, just put all things together. Now, Mr. H, just an update on him. He is doing much better, walking around a little bit now, so he's much better, and I have him working. So he's editing the new video that I've talked about yesterday. It's taking a little bit longer to do, just because there's a lot of little extra things he's putting in there so that you can get some really good understanding. It's more of a techie type of video. We talked a little bit about that yesterday, so just watch the replay of yesterday if you want more details on it. But bottom line, video is going to be for the members. It's going to be a little techie video, and we're going to have a live Q&A with Mr. H on that specific topic, because we don't want to go too crazy and going off on all other projects. But I'm kind of giving this as a little bit of a test to see if people are interested, and then we can do more technology types of videos with Mr. H. He's got over 40, 45. Oh, he's got a lot of experience under his belt. Actually, I think it's about 40 years of experience. If it's definitely over 30, I can tell you that. And he's got a real knack for knowing all kinds of IT stuff. And I think that's really going to help you guys. I feel like some people kind of struggle with the software and get a little confused on the technology side than on the crafting side. And so he's going to help us out and kind of get us going. So we're going to start off with a real basic technology type video, and we're going to do a live Q&A so you guys can ask questions directly for any questions that you have on that particular topic. And if that does well, then we're going to continue to do some more, and we'll do some heavy lifting on technology stuff. So all kinds of things, of videos that I have in mind, you know, organizing your files. We've got things that I'm thinking of avoiding, you know, getting scammed, things that you can look out for, how to do things like that. So if you're not a member, please consider joining and hit the join button, because those are the types of videos I'm going to start putting out from Mr. H, because I really want to help to protect you guys, to make sure that you guys stay safe while you're online and you can do some more fun things. Sometimes these technology things can get a little bit complicated, and we want to break it down for you so you can understand all the different pieces. All right, guys, we are just about done with our stuff today. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend, and I hope you really enjoy and get some crafting time. I will come back on Monday and I will go ahead. I'll have this all laid out and sewed up, so I'm hoping to have this all finished up so I can show you the finished project on here, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and then we'll go into a new project. So have yourselves a wonderful weekend. Thank you guys all for all your support. I truly appreciate it. And have a great day. And I hope to be crafting with you soon. Bye, everyone.
So long for now, so long. Glad you stayed a while. Hope you liked my crafting style. Hope I left you with a smile. By now, keep your mind and space clutter-free. Hope your day is bright as can be. So long, my friends, till we craft once again. Bye now, stay crafting. See you tomorrow. So long, my friends, till we craft once again.